Hi everyone, I'm Quinn and this is my Innovative Solutions project. The problem I've chosen to address is OCD, or Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, specifically self-stigma for individuals with OCD. It's going to be adults, so anyone 18 plus, and people with OCD often believe their condition isn't serious enough or is only about organization because of how it's portrayed in the media. It's often downplayed a lot or seen as something that it's not. So my solution is to help them connect with others and view their condition in a different light. The project I'm doing is a website. It's a place for individuals with OCD to connect with others, learn more, manage symptoms, and find support. So the steps for implementation that I've chosen is to publish a Google site that has different categories for discussion, support, information, etc. A lot of sites with these kinds of things only have one of them, so I'm trying to combine all of them together to make it a one-stop place for everything. Now, this is the website that I've made. If you go on it, you see that it's OCD support and outreach, connect with others and get support. So I said, hello, this website offers a place to connect with others who have OCD, as well as find more information about the condition and resources that can help. So there's a lot of different categories on here that I've made. First, there's a chat room. So if you just wanted to talk to people in real time, it would be monitored by a moderator at all times. And then there's another also chat thing called discussion threads. So this would be if you want to have more of a formal discussion. It wouldn't be as fast paced, but you could look through different threads, make posts to ask questions or look at others' posts and comment on them. This would also be approved by a mod before going public, so it would be a slower discussion, but this would be for more formal things if you had a specific topic in mind. The chat room is just if you want to talk in general. Then I also decided to include some information about OCD. So this is kind of stigma and also just information. So obsessions versus compulsions, which are kind of the main two things of OCD. So one thing that is often misunderstood about OCD is that it has two different components, the obsession aspect and the compulsion aspect. Often compulsions are done to alleviate the obsessions. Obsessions are more of the mental aspect and compulsions are the physical aspect. They're not always like that, but usually they are. So it's important to note that these obsessions and compulsions cannot simply be fixed by logical reasoning, because one of the stigmas surrounding OCD is that you can just fix it or snap out of it. So, like a physical affliction, it cannot be willed away or diminished, and often those who have OCD feel an immense amount of guilt because their disorder is not logical, which adds to an already difficult disorder. So then I broke these two down further to separate them. So, obsessions are characterized by unwanted thoughts or images that enter a person's brain and stay there over a long period of time. Often they keep reappearing and won't go away, and the person afflicted ruminates endlessly. They are often known as intrusive thoughts because of their invasive nature. So if you had a thought that just kept sticking in your head, just over and over, like we have a lot of these thoughts, but usually we can make them go away, but people with OCD cannot, and they just keep thinking about them. So for example, if you just kept feeling like you're contaminated or being worried that something bad is going to happen and you just kept thinking about it, and then, so here I put a link where I got this information, and then if you click on it, you can get more information if you want to look at it further. So then for compulsions, I said in order to relieve the anxiety or distress caused by the obsessions, compulsions are often used as a coping mechanism to alleviate the rumination. This can become a cycle of reasoning that if a compulsion is completed, the obsession won't happen. So, for example, someone may need to close a door a certain number of times because they believe it will keep their family from dying. Thoughts of their family dying is the obsession, and closing the door is the compulsion. So basically, if you kept having these intrusive thoughts about your family dying, you couldn't get rid of them, you might think, okay, if I close this door a certain number of times, then my family won't die. So then you kind of get stuck in that, and you have to do it. So it's not just something you choose to do, you're really stuck in that thought, and you will not do well if you don't do it. So then I also included the same site here to get more information. And then I also wanted to include some stuff about alleviating symptoms because a lot of sites just say the information and they don't really help. So I included some solutions here. These won't really help fully, but it can help somewhat. So sit with intrusive thoughts and identify them. So realize that it is an intrusive thought and then use a grounding object, so maybe you can touch something or think about something else. Avoid black and white thinking. A lot of people with OCD kind of have an either or mindset, and they tend to also have a lot of thoughts that they're a bad person, not because of something they've done, but because their intrusive thoughts will make them think that. They'll be like, oh, I'm a murderer, I'm a pedophile, because their brain just forces them to think that. And then that can be an intrusive thought. They also have a compulsion. So if they do a certain thing, then they won't be a bad person anymore. Then accept uncertainty. This comes along with the black and white thinking. So if they just are doing something and they just can't think it, just accept that it's not always an either or situation. And then onto the compulsions, identify them and resist them. So if you're doing something like closing a door, realize that that's a compulsion, and then try to either limit it or stop doing it or delay it. And then you can also use distractions. So if you're doing something, then just try to think about something else or give yourself a goal. Then another helpful thing to do is to separate yourself from your OCD, so see it as something that's different than yourself, because it's important to realize that it's a separate thing from yourself. And then another good thing to do is to try to connect with others, which is something that this site aims to do. So talking to other people with OCD is really helpful, because talking to just anyone is good, but it's especially helpful to talk to someone who has shared experiences and can help you. So then the main part that I wanted to focus on is the stigma. So OCD is a heavily misunderstood disorder. It is often seen as one note or unserious on account of how it is portrayed in media. One stigma is that OCD is being a clean freak or extremely organized. While some intrusive thoughts or compulsions can pertain to cleaning, the disorder is not focused on it. As we saw, it's a lot of different things. Many people who do not have OCD also say things like, I'm so OCD, or everyone has a little bit of OCD. This is untrue and makes the disorder seem like a quirk instead of a psychological condition. It also diminishes the severity of the condition and its symptoms. Another misconception is that OCD is easily treated, and those who cannot cure it are mentally weak. OCD can be very difficult to manage, especially when society downplays its effects or confuses it with a personality trait. I also gave the site that I got this from where you can get more information. And then finally, I also wanted to have an area where people can look for therapists. So this is a site where you can find a therapist specialized in treating people with OCD. And then you can go on there if you need more help. And then finally, I have social media, so relevant posts, discussions, and videos from popular social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. So this would basically be like videos from TikTok where someone's talking about something pertaining to OCD, or a Reddit discussion thread. So basically, as you can see, the website kind of combines a lot of different aspects from different sites. Like if we look at this, that just kind of has an overview. And then this is the stigma. So it's just kind of combining all these different sites together. And that's the innovative aspect of it. It combines all these things, so you have one place to get all of the information for. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. Bye.